Alright, so there are a few things that I did not catch while reacting to the trailer, but I'm glad that somebody commented on my video saying about the TVA because I had no idea who were those people were until I saw a few clips of them from the Loki TV show, and I was like, okay, now it makes sense because I thought they were from the Deadpool universe. So at least they're here. They're in the MCU now, and it's pretty cool that someone actually commented and let me know who they were. And now that I got it, I've written down. So yeah, and shout out to this content creator for breaking down what we didn't see and didn't catch from the original trailer alone. So let's get to it.
Title might change over time, but as of right now, this is our official title coming out for the teaser trailer, and what a teaser it was. We
Yeah, it
already know
was
Wolverine is going to be
a
in the
very
film,
good teaser.
and we really only
I legit
barely
thought it
saw
was
him.
like
But right away, go ahead and let me
a
know
teaser,
what you thought
but
about this trailer
I
in the
got what I
comments down
wanted
below.
still,
Did you
so
like
they'll
it?
probably
Are you
just say the
excited about
Wolverine
Deadpool
later
3,
on.
even though we barely saw Wolverine in this trailer? But there is so much to break down in this, and it looks like basically what we heard for that plot synopsis for Deadpool 3 was true. Because in the beginning of the trailer, it starts off with Deadpool. It's his birthday. Notice it says happy birthday Wade, and notice on the cake it only has one candle for some reason, and it has a Polaroid of all of his friends and loved ones, and those are the
Yeah,
people
from
who are
the
surrounding
X-Force.
him in the beginning of this trailer. And if you look closely, you can see some very familiar faces from Deadpool 2, characters who died, like Shatterstar and Peter. But remember, and this is very important for not only the trailer, but the entirety of Deadpool 3 as well, at the end of Deadpool 2, Deadpool took Cable's time travel machine and he went back in time and he changed a lot of things, including saving some of his X-Force members, which is why you still see some characters in the beginning here, such as Shatterstar and Peter, plus his normal friends like Blind Owl, Dopinder,
Yeah,
Colossus,
Colossus.
Negasonic Teenage Warhead. You can see Buck, his buddy from the bar with the huge beard, Yukio, and of course, Vanessa. And he says it's been a rough few years, but based off of what we've heard from the plot synopsis, at this point in time, Deadpool has hung up being Deadpool. He is not Deadpool anymore. He's retired and he's working as a used car salesman, and it looks like we get a shot of that. We see him in a blue shirt. It looks to be kind of his uniform wherever he's working at, and he's got his Deadpool costume hanging in his locker. So it seems very clear at this point in time he has given up being Deadpool for a few years, it sounds like. That is until the TVA knocks at his door. Now keep in mind, the TVA is very different than what we knew from the very first Loki season 1. Anytime something kind of gets out of whack now, or a branch timeline is created, they just don't go around pruning it anymore. They don't prune the people anymore. They're pretty much just looking out for variants of Kang at this point in time and making sure nobody's out there causing incursions. Which is why we see the TVA simply go up to Deadpool's door and knock on it.
And the funny thing is, like, when I reacted to the original trailer earlier, I literally had no idea who these people were until I looked it up and I realized that, okay, they're from the Loki TV show. Even though I haven't seen Loki, I heard some good things about it, but I'm glad that they're here. So now I want to know how they're going to utilize these characters in Deadpool and Wolverine.
Timeline, that's not what they did. They knocked and basically are like, hey, you should come with us, and they tried to be scary, but of course we got a Deadpool fourth wall break. Basically making a rated R joke about pegging and looking directly into the camera stating that this is new for Disney. Because of course this movie is rated R. And so is the trailer. It's a red band trailer.
Oh
Interesting to
yeah,
see
I
come from
forgot
Disney,
about
but we
that.
like
I
it. Now
forgot
the TVA...
I completely forgot about this movie being R-rated. So of course it makes sense of him making a joke about pegging. So if you don't know what that is, look it up. I can't tell you, it's too graphic on here. So
pushing Wade Wilson through the door, they rip off his fake hair. No doubt he was wearing this toupee because he is trying
I
to
knew it
live
was
a
fake too. I
normal
thought it
life,
was
and he
real.
hasn't been Deadpool in a while, so he needs a real job. So in order to try and look somewhat normal because of what happened to his skin from the first Deadpool movie, when he became Deadpool, he wears a wig. That is until they ripped it off. Then they get to the TVA where we meet a character who I believe to be Paradox. Insiders have talked about this character appearing in Deadpool 3 for some time now. Instead of Owen Wilson's Mobius, we are getting this person, Paradox. And just like I've been talking about and predicting in my other Deadpool videos before the trailer came out, it does look like the TVA indeed wants Deadpool's help. So Deadpool wakes up and Paradox says, "It looks like you soiled yourself when you were sleeping," and Deadpool makes a joke, "I wasn't asleep." And of course Deadpool wants to know where he's at, so Paradox says, walk with me. And he takes him throughout the TVA. Eventually, he takes him to what looks to be some type of a control room. There are a ton of monitors on the screen. And he tells Wade, "You are special. This is your chance to be a hero among heroes." And he shows us on the screen the Avengers from the MCU, showing us many different clips. We see some from Age of Ultron, we see some from Thor Ragnarok, we see some Captain America films, and basically we
Yeah, I've
see
seen
all
that.
of the Avengers in some way, shape, or form on the screens. Black Widow, Iron Man, Hulk, Captain America, Thor. We don't really see Hawkeye, but of course we know from the scene from Avengers Age of Ultron, he is there. And I'm sure we're going to see a lot more on these computer screens in the actual scene in the movie. Also, if you look carefully during the part where Deadpool is looking at Captain America footage, he goes and he salutes him. He brings his right hand up to his head and he salutes Captain America. I'm sure there's going to be some sort of a joke here, but the main part of this is he knows who they are, which is one reason I believe the TVA is searching for Deadpool's help. I believe there are two specific reasons. One of those could be because Deadpool has the ability to break the fourth wall. One could see...
Do you honestly think that it's possible for him to go back in time to invite back Captain America, the original Avengers in this movie? Because it's looking possible for him to do something like that, because for the most part, when you look at him giving Captain America the salute, I think it's a possibility that why the TVA was looking for him in the first place, because of him being able to time travel and all of that. Maybe I'm wrong, I don't know. Let me know in the comments.
Could be something very, very handy. But basically, because Deadpool can break the fourth wall, he knows about the other universes out there. And in other Deadpool movies and trailers, we've seen him reference the MCU. And by him saluting Captain America, that is made very clear here. Now, from here going forward, we hear some dialogue, but just to be clear, just a reminder, a lot of dialogue that we hear in trailers is really taken out of context. But based off of what we know about Deadpool 3, I think I can really make out what is going on here. Deadpool is told this is his chance to be a hero among heroes. Deadpool then says, "I smell what you're stepping in, Sensei." Of course, Deadpool always gotta crack jokes. And he's to be the back of Professor Xavier. Then we also see him walking up to a man dressed in all white who is Wolverine. We can tell because of the hair, of course. And because he could possibly recruit Wolverine.
When I saw this part in this clip, I knew it was Logan because of the hairstyle, but when I was watching Future Boy Hughes' video, shout out to him, I didn't realize that it was also from the comics, him in the white suit, gambling and stuff. I was like, man, how did I not do my research on this until I see videos like this? This is why I love doing what I'm doing, because I'm writing it down so I'll remember what it's from and what it's based off of.
Getting out here, because Deadpool goes on to say, "I'm the Messiah. I am Marvel Jesus." Now, I do believe there's some dialogue, of course, that we didn't hear in the trailer that happens in the scene, and I basically think what they're saying to Deadpool is, we need your help to save the multiverse. The entire multiverse is at jeopardy, including your own universe where everybody you love lives. And if you think about that line, your chance to be a hero among heroes, that really does refer to the entire multiverse collapsing. Everybody is in jeopardy at this point in time. Everybody from every universe, including the heroes, but Deadpool has the ability to save them and the multiverse. That's Deadpool's opportunity to be the so-called hero among heroes. Also, at the same time, we know that the TVA is going to start recruiting heroes from different universes to be a part of a multiverse Avengers team. I believe Deadpool is a part of the TVA's direct plan to do that by going out and recruiting Wolverine. And why Deadpool? Well, because in real life, which of course Deadpool can reference because he breaks the fourth wall,
really?
Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman.
So based on this trailer alone, the TVA recruited Deadpool just so he can go and recruit all of the superheroes to fight against a greater threat, to save the MCU's timeline, to save the different types of timelines, because this is interesting. I like what they're doing here because, you know, as somebody who doesn't really read comics that much, but I am familiar with the characters. So it's the fact that the TVA are willing to just recruit all of the heroes from the past timelines just so that Deadpool can just save everyone. I like this.
Comics and on screen that we've seen, there's a lot of history with Deadpool and Wolverine, and basically we know that they're going to end up being best friends in this movie after a lot of fighting happens. But the TVA has seen all of these different timelines and have probably seen a lot of different timelines to where they know that Deadpool can convince Logan to come and help them, to come and fight against Kang and try to save the multiverse.
Kang.
So Deadpool agrees temporarily. We see somebody suit Deadpool up. If you go really closely with these frames, you can see that somebody is suiting him up here. And we get the new Deadpool suit, which looks absolutely fantastic. We've seen a few pictures of this already, but on screen, fantastic. So the TVA gives him a new suit, recruits him, and Deadpool is ready to go on his new mission. However, he soon goes astray because in the very next scene that we see, he is killing TVA members. Now, there are several scenes that this could be. He could be in another point in time, another timeline, and he could be in the events of another film. In fact, they showed us on screen the Avengers from Age of Ultron, where we know it's kind of a snowy,
I did not know
woodsy
that.
area.
You know what? This kind of makes sense because the way that the area is looking, I knew this looks oddly familiar because I've watched this movie years ago. And the fact that they're actually bringing all of that back, mixing them all at once, just to save different types of timelines. Yo, I think the TVA might be different from those movies because when they recruited Deadpool, it might be from a different timeline, but this is crazy. This is all starting to make sense.
Since perhaps he is trying to go see Logan and try to get Wolverine, perhaps this is a scene from Logan. But regardless, we see that Deadpool is now going up against the TVA, probably because, of course, he just wants to do his own thing, and they probably gave him a task, which probably wasn't smart. But as far as the next scene is concerned, I believe this takes place in The Void from Loki. Because in the back, we can see the huge 20th Century Fox logo smashed into the ground. Sort of like it got pruned in the past or an incursion possibly happened, and this ended up in The Void, where the remnants of other universes end up. And we know from some leaked photos that other people are going to be showing up in The Void as well, like from the previous X-Men films. That's all I'll say for now, no spoilers. And I believe the next few scenes could actually show some of those cameos from other universes, kind of in a Mad Max style world. What I basically believe happened is there is a bunch of characters from the old X-Men universes that exist in the Void, and they've kind of formed somewhat of a gang. We know from Loki season 1 that characters can survive in the Void. And another reason I think this is the Void is because when you look at this TVA guard who is chained by the wrists, he is begging Wade for help, and then he gets swept up by something, and I think this could be Alioth. And if you freeze frame these scenes, you can see that something kind of smoky picks him up, and the clouds in the sky are pretty dark as well, so it very well could be Alioth. All the more confirming that this is most likely the Void, and there are now gangs consisting of people who are remnants of other universes all in one area now. And then of course, at the very end, where it looks like they are still in the Void because Deadpool gets kicked through a wall and he lands on the 20th Century Fox logo.
One thing about this clip right here is there's like a Easter egg of a comic book that is sitting next to Deadpool laying on the concrete. That is Dr. Doom on the cover because I saw it on Twitter and it was a reference. I was like, yep, that's definitely an issue of Secret Wars because we know that the Secret Wars are going to end up debuting in the MCU sometime around 2026. So all of this makes a lot of sense. And I love the fact that they're actually dropping all types of Easter eggs. Yo, this is crazy. This is crazy. I'm glad I caught that.
That it's Wolverine, and he says, "Don't just stand there, you ape, help me up." But then we see Wolverine bring out his claws, and he says, "Nope, I'm actually okay, thank you very much." But then Wolverine jumps on top of him, and we know that he's going to stab him, because we know that they're going to fight a lot in this movie. One cool thing about this scene, though, is that if you look to the very left of Deadpool when he is lying down, you can see that there is something on the floor in the middle left. Well, as you get closer and you zoom in on it, you can actually tell that this is a Marvel Comics Avengers Secret Wars comic, majorly implying, of course, what is happening right now in the multiverse saga. Everything is building up to Avengers Secret Wars, and we know that Deadpool is not just going to end at Deadpool 3, Wolverine as well. They are both going to go on to be a part of Avengers Secret Wars, and this basically just confirms that right here. This scene with Deadpool and Wolverine in it has a Secret Wars comic book to the left. So overall, this trailer was pretty epic, but it was a teaser trailer. They definitely teased us, but
I heard someone said that Wolverine is wearing some type of hoodie in the back, because while he's going to be wearing the mask in the movie, but he'll probably like wear it like around 5 minutes or whatever though. But throughout the whole film, he's going to probably wear it without it, because he does have like the sneak in the back of his neck, so he could just easily slip it back on whenever he wants to.
Is Deadpool and Wolverine. So it is kind of weird that they teased Wolverine but didn't actually really give him to us a lot, especially since the movie is Deadpool and Wolverine. But that first official trailer is going to be epic, you know it. So let me know your thoughts about.
And man, shout out to this content creator once again. Link to the original video will be down below. Alright, so there are some things that I picked up that I did not get to see in the original trailer that I reacted to in my other video. Go check it out. So TVA is there. I realized that they're from the Loki TV show. And shout out to the person who commented on this video for letting me know. Paradox is a person, I believe, that is from the comics, if I'm not mistaken, that is making an appearance in this movie, is talking to Deadpool and bringing him and recruiting him to like save the MCU universe. Wolverine in a white suit, Wolverine in the white suit, Wolverine in the white suit, I definitely did not catch on. But I did see Logan in the hairstyle, so I kind of knew that though. But I didn't realize that it was from the comics based on that alone. And you got TVA recruiting heroes from different timelines. And one thing I didn't realize that while I was reacting to the trailer a few minutes ago, is Deadpool killing the TVA because he's trying to save all of the different timelines from different past events, such as Avengers Age of Ultron. So it kind of makes sense of why that area looked familiar. And the Void, yeah, I had no idea about the Void up until I think it's also from the Loki TV show. And that L dude, I don't know his name. I'm gonna have to look it up. So he's also, I believe, from that show. But then, as I mentioned before, we get to see the comics of Adventure Secret Wars, which is going to be debuting in 2026. So that's like an Easter egg of letting us know that the movie is coming. And of course, we get the end of the trailer of Wolverine getting ready to stab Deadpool in the chest, well, in the gut, because you know they're going to be fighting throughout the whole film. So yeah, man, this is a good breakdown. I know everything now based on this video. We wrote down some notes, so now I know. So, like I said, link to the original video will be down below, and I'm going to catch y'all